Alright guys, this is a bonus piece of today's episode. There's a particular piece in today's story that I felt needed some more explaining. Otherwise it could really leave you guys confused, because it left me confused. And I had to do some more research to find out about it. So here it is. Okay, so the whole idea of the witch pulling up the spirit and then it being Samuel. Now the question is, was that really Samuel? Did she really pull up the spirit of Samuel who talked to him? Or was that something else? And naturally, well, it's my natural thought. I don't know what your natural thought is. My natural thought was that can't be possible. You know, the Bible talks about like good and evil can't be together and just all this kind of stuff. So I didn't see how a demonic seance could bring up a man of God, a prophet of God, and prophesy a message. So, you know, in my research, it came down to there's two schools of thoughts. So I'm going to explain both of them to you, then I'll let you know which one I agree with and think is right. Okay, so the first view is that it really was Samuel. And this is based off of a couple things. The first thing being that the witch was startled and surprised when she saw Samuel. And they base this off the fact of that she has certain familiar spirits that she deals with. And she conjures them up, and they tell her things, they speak to her. And so when she saw Samuel, the prophet of God, it scared her, because she's not used to that, and it just freaked her out. And another reason is because the Bible actually refers to the spirit as Samuel, and it doesn't say a spirit disguising himself as Samuel or something like that. It refers to it as Samuel. So that's one reason. And then the third reason that I found was because the spirit, or Samuel, or who it was, accurately prophesied. He was able to give a prophecy that actually came true, and it wasn't some sort of lie that, you know, you would think a demon would probably lie about something. So those are some of the reasons for the side of people who think that it really was Samuel. So the school of thought that said it wasn't actually Samuel, that it was a demon or spirit or something like that pretending to be and taking, you know, the appearance of Samuel, had a lot more evidence on their side, I will say. And so I'm not going to go through all of it, but just a couple of the main things one is that would make absolutely no sense, because God is already, He's departed from Saul, and He's ignored him, and He's said through prophecy and through action that He's not going to talk to him, because He's taken the kingdom away and given it to David. So why then would He, first off, would be a way of communicating with him. So why would He talk to him now, after all this time that He's ignored him, and go against His own word, which God doesn't lie. God doesn't go against His own word. So why would He break His word and all of a sudden communicate with him? And secondly, kind of on the same point, but a little bit of a side thing is, if He was going to, why would He use an evil demonic way of doing it? Why wouldn't He have just, if He was going to cave and change His mind, why wouldn't He have done it when Saul was using more godly ways? You know, when he was using prophets and prayer and like fasting and stuff like that. Why would He wait until he goes against God and talks to a witch to then go ahead and talk to him? You know, God doesn't work like that. God's not going to use a demon to deliver a message, or even a demonic way to bring in the man of God. It's not going to happen. I mean, if we look at when Jesus was on earth, anytime Jesus was around, Jesus, you know, having God's presence and stuff, demons couldn't, like, they would flee. They had no power around Him. And I have to say that, personally, after doing the studying, I'm on the side of the second, the people who say it wasn't Samuel. When I read it, I'm like, well, it said it was Samuel, so it must have really been, but that doesn't make sense. After the studying, I definitely have to say that, one, there's just more evidence on the side that says that it was not Samuel. God did not use a seance to talk to Saul. And two, honestly, just using common sense, it just makes sense. It doesn't seem like God, and it doesn't seem like something that He would do. From all the research I did, what source it was from, the one thing I kept reading and it kept coming back to was the main point of this scripture isn't if it was Samuel or if it wasn't Samuel. The point was the fall of Saul. How he fell from being a man of God, anointed by God to be king, down to this point. And a couple things I read actually referred to this story as the satire of Saul. So he starts off as this great king who almost abolished all of witchcraft from the land of Israel. Then he gets ignored by God and finds himself out of desperation trying to find some sort of witch or something to talk to. And of course the irony here being that it was hard to do because he was the one who abolished them all. So all of this points back to our original point that you need to turn to God for guidance in your life. Anything else is going to be going the wrong way, and God is the author of wisdom, and He's the only one who's going to know the best situation for you. Okay, that's perfect, guys. That's exactly what I envisioned. All right, guys. So King Saul decided that he was going to go to Disneyland and ask Mickey Mouse what he should do.
Not like that, you don't. Gangsta.
So of course she agrees and asks, "Who can I bring up for you?" And he says, "I need to speak to Walt Disney."
Not like you don't.
What? I don't think I wrote that.
Not like that.
But ultimately, you need to pray about it, and you need to seek God's direction on whatever the decision is. Because Walt Disney doesn't know.
Dude, it's fine. You just get the tri-tip like you normally do. I'll just get the barbecue chicken.
No, this is a big decision. I can't just go into it blindly.
Yeah, well, yeah you can. Yes, I can. Obama.
As if that wasn't harsh enough, Samuel goes on to tell Saul that the Lord will not bless his tax return this year. That's not right. Okay, so now the school of thought that says it wasn't really Samuel, that it was an evil spirit or demon or something pretending to be him, actually had a lot more evidence to back it up. And here's another ambulance.